fourth meeting between the sides this season as we get underway. Pirates have triumphed each time that they've crossed paths this campaign, including a dramatic penalty shootout win across the road in the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup. That was 2 months back in a game that was 2-2 when it went to penalties. There's some early work to do here for Siyabonga Dladla, a young goalkeeper on debut. He rushes out of his box to clear that ahead of Christian Saile. Well, I guess it's one of the positions that when you're debuting, the spotlight is firmly upon you. A goalkeeper making their introduction to the world of professional football. And you might think to yourself, Teko Modise, who joins me now up in commentary, that Supersport would have made a note of that and that they will try and test him. But with that being said, they've scored just 1 goal from outside the area this season, and that came all the way back in September against TS Galaxy, courtesy of Terence Fukamanja. They do, however, have an opportunity to go direct from this free kick early on.
Yeah, of course, and you listen to Coach Andy Arons as well, speaking of, they will take those type of notes and make sure that they try and punish. And especially look at how also they played against Stellenbosch. They used so many crosses inside the box to try and actually, hurt Stellenbosch. They do have tall players. You do have Khatrai at the back. You do have Sanoka as well. Yes, they will try and make that possible for them, but as well, Orlando Pirates, you listen to the coaches, they'll try and protect the young men. They'll try the defense as well with Mbogazi and Sibisi. They will try and protect him, but it's going to be a very, very challenging day for Dladla.
Lalake, very adept from direct free kicks. Supersport don't have any in the Betway Premiership this season. Orlando Pirates, by contrast, have 3, and Dlamini with 2, the most in the league. Big opportunity early. So it is left for Lekay. And his low effort is straight at Dladla. Sibisi working the ball wide. Bandi Leshando scored in the last 2 games running. We'll be expecting another big performance from him. He's done well since making his return to the lineup. He's been up in the stands for most of the season, recovering from a tibia fracture, which is a very nasty injury to break your leg and try and work your way back to full fitness. No easy feat.
Yeah, it must have been tough. And if you remember as well, when he got injured, also he was on top of his game, scoring goals for Orlando Pirates, and being back again, scoring back-to-back. That's the difference that he makes, that he brings into the team. If you look at the competition that he has, Monyane, he has Van Rooyen as well, but he is just better in terms of him getting inside the box and being able to score. And I think that will also give him, puts him in a position where he's far ahead of his competitors. But yet again, he is a player that's from injury. He's trying to maybe get more minutes into his lungs.
Out of the scoring against the Rockets, and then they saw their lead wiped out late in that one by Mbom Velase. It's the first time that they've dropped points after opening the scoring. Side netting from Dion Hotto.
Yeah, with the Supersport playing with wing backs, they have to deal with those runs from Hotto. And we've seen Bogazi as well within his game, his passing ranges as well, finding those wing plays, whether it's in Koto on the other side or whether it's Hotto as well. So with those 3 at the back for Supersport, they really, really need to make sure that when the man is free on the ball, they need to get closer and tighter to each other so that they can defend those balls a little bit easier.
Thumped away by Baliti. Sibisi. Bata. Bukazi finding Dion Hotto. Today, the 58th league meeting between these two sides, and the top flight is actually fairly even as the ball is worked out here to Maha Nkota. Header away. He's back with Nkota now, and he squeezes in yet another cross. Mabasa looked to help it on. Nkota, the quick pass. Not the most effective cross.
You can see early on into the game, that's where the game is for Lampard, trying to make sure that they do overloads on the side because you're playing three, so he forces Moby now to be wing back to defend with two, to defend those two.
Bata, chance from range, along with Dion Hotto, does have the most long-range goals in the Betway Premiership this season, but forced to snatch at that one. Twelfth league appearance tonight for Takazani Mbanjwa. Ricardo Goss has made 16 in the Betway Prem. It's fairly even in terms of the amount of game time these two goalkeepers have been given.
Because normally with teams, it's a position that normally teams don't want to think, they don't want to change it too much. But that also, tells the difficulties that they've been having in this season, making sure that maybe they try Goss, and then if not Goss and Banjo as well, trying to find stability at the back, even though they haven't conceded too many goals. But I think the biggest problem that they were facing is scoring those goals, because they do create chances, but it's just burying those chances that they've created.
Some might have thought that perhaps Devon Titus snuck the ball beyond Goss a little too easily in the last game. This goal scoring has been a real issue for Supersport United this season. They've scored just 17 goals. It's joint fewest in the league. And prior to this season, their worst ever goal tally was 28 in 2017-18 season. So you can see the drop-off has been gigantic.
And it doesn't help as well that your top striker, the go-to guy, was injured.
It's good movement from Orlando Pirates. Bandile Shandu disappointed in himself not to effectively execute that cross. It also hasn't really been an issue of working opportunities and firing off shots. Yes, it hasn't been their best season in that regard, but their conversion rate has been awful. It's just above 7% of all the shots they've taken actually result in goals, and therein lies the issue for Supersport. Mobia gave away a penalty 3 games back against Pulungwani City that saw them drop 2 points after Christian Saile had opened the scoring. Bukazi's header behind for a corner kick, where in the past Supersport have been extremely potent. Not so much this season, just 3 goals from corners. But it is an area now where they can test a debutant Ladla. So in from Lakay. He'll get an opportunity now to cross again. Opts for the pass. Keenan Ayer. Mabwe scoops it in. Well, a strong flick of the neck, but off the mark from the Congolese Christian Saile.
And I'm sure Supersport will feel like this is the game that they can do so much with via set piece as well. But you look at this cross, I think Saile there was a little bit offside.
Yeah.
You look at the game they played against Stellenbosch, especially in the second half, the amount of crosses that they were, putting inside the box. Oscar Breen, I think, made crucial saves for Supersport not to get points. So I thought maybe they'll continue with that lineup when you saw Grobler also on the lineup, maybe to try and bring the crosses. But maybe because of the pitch is so big, maybe it's suggesting to use a little bit of speed, Saile, a little bit of speed, Morale, maybe trying to, cause Orlando Pirates defense.
Yeah, on that point, Supersport United, 7 shots on target against Stellenbosch. Oscarine Masaluke saved all of them. They did score a goal, but it was an own goal from Devin Titus. It's actually the second most shots they've got on target in a single Betway Premiership game this season. There's an offside here. They managed 8 in a home win against Magesi back in December. That's the most they've managed. Sabisi spotting some movement here from Dion Hato. Taxani Mbandra ventures out of his box to clear.
Yeah, that highline for Supersport, it will invite this type of balls from Orlando Pirates to try and play. And we know Hato is a willing runner. He will try and get behind those fullbacks.
Balit. A good challenge after the ball was almost cheaply given away. Spesitli Ndlovu does have the most ball recoveries in the league this season. Tackles, interceptions, retrieving loose balls.
But he's been the type of a player for Supersport where he really, covers a lot of ground and wins so many balls, like you're saying. But I think maybe this season he missed a little bit of Maraman in that midfield, because that combination was so profiting for Supersport, especially last season.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Grant Machaman, been out the entire campaign with an ACL injury. Definitely been a big miss. Bugazi finding an option in the midfield. Talente Mbata, who misplaces his pass. Bugazi did score his first ever senior goal against Supersport United. That came just over 2 months ago in the Nedbank Cup quarterfinals. Opened the scoring in a 2-2 draw. Terence Fukumanja cancelled out his goal. Evidence Machopa put Pirates back in front, and then Khato Moralo sent it to extra time with a brilliant individual effort late into the 90. Machopa on the bench today. He's actually scored in all 3 matches between these sides this season. Wrapped it up in their MTN8 quarterfinal at the very start of this campaign in extra time, a game that they won 3-1, Orlando Pirates, although the first goal in extra time slightly controversial. Then opened the scoring inside 2 minutes when they met in the league at the Orlando Stadium. That was back in October. Dion Hato with the second in that game, and then of course the quarterfinal in the Nedbank Cup that we've just alluded to. First player in meetings between Supersport and Pirates to score in 3 separate games in a season. Of course, most seasons they'll only meet twice, although when it comes to these 2 sides, they've met in plenty of cup matches in the past, and including some National Cup finals not so long ago. Supersport victorious in successive seasons in the Nedbank Cup. say not so long ago, it was almost 10 years ago now. Ball from Baliti finding Saile. Now they need to make something happen in the midfield here. Gonza. Dlamini got his head on it. Dylan Mbata, former Supersport United man, tried to just turn it on and loses out. Was underappreciated at Matsatsansa, made a loan move to Orlando Pirates halfway through last season and excelled in the second part of that campaign. That move made permanent as a result.
He became one of the important players in the Orlando Pirates midfield with a combination of him and Makaula.
Oh, that looked nasty on Mabasa. Will the referee revisit this moment after checking on the aggrieved party? So Mr. Gassa just giving him Glover a talking to.
He possibly thought that he was in Glover.
Yeah, it is Zimbabwe, which is now surprises us. Yeah. He just sought out the player based on reputation. Not to say that Glover was a dirty player, but obviously a very tough tackling midfielder.
Yes, he loved those 50-50 challenges, and he's not scared to get into any of those. And also referees knows characteristics of players as well, so maybe that's why the first tackle thinks it's in Glover.
It's a lovely strong run here, but they need to create something from it. Keen and I can't control. Nico Mobia. Away by Bokazi. Dlamini inexplicably gives it back to Supersport United, and Lewa Mabu with a less than impressive effort on goal. Does have a goal this season for Supersport United that came in the Nedbank Cup against Cape Town Spurs, but the last time he scored a league goal was back in 2021 for Mamelodi Sundowns against Supersport United.
And he was a player as well that struggled as well with injuries, and he came to Supersport very fresh, being a player that is all experienced as well, brought a little bit of excitement into Supersport lineup as well, knowing that as well you lost Maraman as well, that he occupies that creative position, so there will be a lot that is expected for him in tonight's fixture.
Game hasn't quite burst into life yet. Another circumspect approach from both sides, but I think at the moment this will just suit the hosts, who have not had all too much success trying to come back from going a goal down this season. Supersport United have gained just 2 points from losing position, so the longer they can keep this level, I think it serves them very well.
But also you can hear as well from the coach as well, say possibly want to come out with something which means it's a game that they need to manage. If they do, yes, create opportunities for them to actually get the maximum points, that's better, but they don't have to lose the game, and I think that's the mentality.
Flag is up. Bandile Shandu, the man who has allegedly strayed.
Looks tight.
Sanoka might be playing him on.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure whether very much would have developed from that, but yeah, Sanoka appeared to be in line with him. Nice exchange of passes there, and again Keenan central to it. And comes across, Makazi repels it.
Supersport, they need to go out wide more with the Leke bringing those crosses. They need to get those balls more often inside the box to try and trouble Orlando Pirates defense, because you can see how congested it is in that midfield. It's going to be very difficult for them to actually go through, so they need to go out wide. And also they do have wing players, Palite, Aye as well, so just maybe 2v1, force the 2v1 situations on the side to try and bring in them.
This is another weapon for them. Lovu. Obia. Whistle sounds. Waiting to see exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think it's Aye that stepped on his toes or something, yeah.
It's not immediately apparent, but yeah, could have been studs into the boots of Kabelo Dlamini. What a wicked free kick he scored against the Montfort Golden Arrows about a week ago. The last goal of the Jose Rivero era. Both his goals this season in the Betway Premiership have been free kicks. No other player has scored more than one.
Is this because maybe the breed of free kick specialists is slowly disappearing?
I think last season, stand to be corrected, but I think Gabadina Maunga was the only player to score more than one direct free kick in the league. A couple seasons before that, Tupoho Mokoena, and he might also have been the only one to score more than one. And that was when he was with Supersport United. About midway through this first half, the goalkeeper really troubled up to this point. Lalke shooting straight at Siyabonga Dladla. Dladla, who went on the pre-season tour to Spain with Orlando Pirates at the beginning of this campaign, seems like an age ago, did earn some minutes, played about half an hour against Granada in a 1-1 draw. And he sat on the bench 4 times recently in all competitions. Ball given away to Baliti. Here's Latshwayo. Pirates have been good this season against struggling sides. They have won 7 of their 8 games against teams currently in the bottom 5. The only time they didn't win was the early stages of Hussein Ertugrul's stint at Cape Town City, when they beat them out in the Mother City 1-0. Otherwise, they have had a really good run against the bottom sides this campaign. Well, persistence shown, and it's worked out well here for Orlando Pirates, at least initially. Charging run from Khatim Moralo, but doesn't have the pass to find Christian Saile. Moralo does not score often, but he has had a knack recently of getting goals against Orlando Pirates. They played on the last day of last season, a 1-1 draw, in which Khatim Moralo actually cancelled out a goal from Tikvas Mabasa, and it was his first senior goal. Mabasa with a little flick. Deonato racing to keep this alive, and he has done. Showed too much of that to Aya, and then immediately gets it back. Mabasa! Tight angle denied by Banjua.
Yeah, good turn there by Mabasa, knowing exactly where the goalposts are, using his body well. And great job there from Banjua, making himself big to try and deny Mabasa from scoring. But Orlando Pirates again finding space on the left-hand side where Hoto gets involved. Supersport needs to make sure that if there is no pressure on the ball, they need to move to the side where the ball they can anticipate, because that 5 at the back is still, Orlando Pirates still finding holes.
Swept in by Dlamini. Actually, that was away from Sanoka, who is making his 200th career start this evening. Slebet, 20-year-old, born in Zakane. Sangani can't pick out Dion Hotto. Toss back in for Silepe. Kladla. He's at Pele Pele in the ABC Motsepe League last season. 11 clean sheets and 17 outings. Guys, a firm pass for Hotto. Masangani gives it to Aya. Back with Dion Hotto. Early ball. Gets away from Mabasa.
I thought in that challenge as well from Mbata, I thought it was an easy challenge, but there's an opportunity as well. Look at Mabasa turning for Shayo, knowing exactly where the goalposts are, but also the persistence as well from Dion Hotto, making sure that he follows that counter press, wins the ball back, and then Mbajo making himself big.
One interesting element of Orlando Pirates' season is that they've scored 40 goals, the second most in the league. But their top scorer, who is Mabasa in the Betway Premiership, only has 7. So the goals have been very evenly spread across the squad. Selepe. Bokazi. Hotter. It's down under the challenge. First season playing in South Africa's top flight for Kinenaya. He's 25 years old now, but he spent the early stages of his professional career playing in Scandinavia. Both sides relatively untroubled in terms of goal-mouth action. Orlando Pirates have just gone past the 200 pass mark. Against TS Galaxy last time out, they faced 15 shots in total, or allowed 15 shots to be taken. Not all of them hit the target, of course. It's the second most in the league that they faced since that win over Mamelodi Sundowns in mid-March. Sundowns launched a total of 17 shots, but to no avail as Pirates won 2-1. Already pinged that pass at Lalake. Supersport still have possession. Sanoka. Taken away from Moralo. Baliti. Hasn't had any competition from Neurapo of late, because he's been with the South African under-20 side, who've just claimed the under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Big congratulations to them.
Coach Raymond Mdaka. Job well done to them.
Dangerously there. When the Pirates, Dion Hotter has it. Mavasa, another clever touch. Dlamini. Dion Hotter looked across and saw that the flag had been raised.
Nice play there, Dlamini. Finding space. It's unfortunate that Hoto was in an offside position, but great positioning as well from Hoto to be able to, just in between the two defenders, makes it easier then for Dlamini to able to just to play through for speedy man Hoto to actually go through to goals.
Love. Maliti to Lake. Christian Saile tussling here with Sabisi.
I think with Saile had a better option there, just on this left side of him. There was Lake there. You can play the ball to Lake and still continue with that attack, but tussle and turning there with him and Sibisi. Sibisi proven to be the stronger one in that instance.
Supersport this season have been very susceptible to conceding early goals, especially in the opening quarter hour, but they've navigated more than half an hour without Banjwa really having much to do except to keep out Mabasa at his near post. That being said, Pirates have scored 65% of their league goals this season in the second half. Sanoka, Latwaya. Baliti lifts it forward. All-time challenge from Sibisi. Should Orlando Pirates win this one, it would be 4 victories over Supersport in the same campaign, including on penalties. It's actually happened before. Back in the 1997-98 season, Supersport won their first league clash 1-0. Then Pirates defeated them 2-0 in their second league clash, and they won both legs of the League Cup first round, both 1-0. And then they won Bobsave Super Bowl quarterfinal 3-0. So an opportunity to beat Supersport 4 times in one season for a second time. Pressure on Pladla as he goes short.
You can see with the Supersport approach as well is that mid-block that they're doing. They're allowing Orlando Pirates defense to have the ball, making sure that they just closing those passing paths. But I think at some point you need to start engaging and trying to put pressure on Pladla when he has the ball. Just force them to make mistakes.
Baliti seizes upon this one. He's worked some space to cross, but he's off balance when he delivers it in. Finding Silepe. The youngster losing out, Kinanea. Moralo. Back to Tyson. Space for Lekay. Quickly closed down. Glove. And a good recovery from Talenta Mbata.
I think it's also for Orlando Pirates. It's been a long season. It's been a high, a lot of pressured games, a lot of demands, physicality as well. And you can see as well they're just managing the game, pushing the ball around, finding space, and I'm suggesting as well that maybe Supersport maybe at some point they need to take advantage of that. Press a little bit high. You do have speed up front. You do have Saile. Press a little bit higher, create opportunities from there. Because with the mid block, which means then you have to have so much ground to cover if you have to actually go on and score a goal. And it is a game that if you feel like you can take it, especially from a Supersport perspective, they need to take those maximum points. As much as we know that with Cape Town City, the maximum points they'll go into is 29, but still, for Supersport doesn't guarantee them anything, so you need to take those. Even though they do have maybe a goal difference that maybe, you know, helps them in that regard, but you want to play as a football, you want to play every game to try and win it.
That's one benefit Supersport do have over Cape Town City at the moment. It's a superior goal difference. +7 better than them. Cape Town City on -16, Supersport United on -9. And most would say Supersport United's game this coming weekend, the final match day, is perhaps easier than Cape Town City's. City welcomes Stellenbosch to the DHL Stadium. Supersport United are here at Peter Mokaba Stadium, where, as we pointed out earlier, they have been pretty good. They face Richards Bay, who are technically in contention for the top 8, but they are, I would say, outsiders, and Supersport have a very good record against them. They've won 4 of their 6 meetings in all competitions. Beat them most recently in December through a late goal from Brandy Krobler.
He's also on the bench and enjoys scoring against Orlando Pirates as well.
And he does.
Yeah.
He needs 1 more goal to hit double figures against Pirates for Supersport.
And you know, as a player, you always have your team, regardless as to then what the form is like. You do always find space and time within whatever team that you may face, and you always feel like you have a goal in you.
This looks more promising from Supersport United. Some intricate short passing, open up some space on the flank. Orlando Pirates looking to smother them here. Oh, it's broken kindly and been blazed over. That's possibly the best opportunity of the match so far.
It is the best opportunity so far, and that's the right man that you want to find him inside the box. We spoke about him earlier, that he needs to make those runs inside the box, but there he went for power using lace. I suggest possibly maybe could have used an inside foot with his left, try maybe to squeeze it in, because there was a tackle coming in, but he needs to make those deep runs a little bit more often. That is Lebo Mabue.
Well, it's not as far over the bar as it initially looked, but it's a miss nonetheless from Lebo Mabue. So both sides have attempted 3 shots, both with 1 on target. Lau Lekei's tame free kick and Mabasa's shot from a tight angle. Again, they work it out wide, so the cross can come in for 3 players waiting inside the box. Sele's delivery blocked away for a throw-in by Shandu. Okay, again. And that header actually goes backwards in the end. Mabasa under pressure from Sanoka, gets away from him. Mokazi. Masongani. Silepe spent 2 seasons playing for Pirates Diski Challenge team. Actually played for Sundowns in the GDL prior to that. Nice interception from Baliti with his head. Against sides in the top 5 this season, Supersport have 1 win, 2 draws and 6 defeats, so that's 5 points collected from 27. The only side presently in the top 5 they've beaten is the 5th place team, TS Galaxy. They won 1-0 at home. So we're into 1 minute of additional time. Takazani Mbanjwa not particularly pleased with the options he was given, claiming that's why he dispensed it right into Mabasa. And as we know, it could have gone anywhere from there. So the 58th PSL Era League meeting between these two sides looks as though it's going to go into the break goalless. This is also a 93rd meeting in all competitions since 1990 between these two sides. So we hope that means something for what is to come. And as we did mention in the first half, Orlando Pirates in particular score the bulk of their goals